Hi there, my name is Komi. On this channel, I am dedicated to making tutorials on trending fashion projects in the most simple and relatable way. In this episode, I'll be showing you how to cut and sew this neckline. I would also be sharing with you what and what not to do when making your own. Right here is my pattern. It's simply a leftover fabric from my previous project. This is my waistline, 15.5. My shoulder is 15. Half of 15 is 7.5 plus 0.5 inch sewing allowance. As you can see, I have 8 inches. Now I'm going to determine how wide I want my neckline to be. Right here, of course, is my shoulder slant, 1 inch. And here is where my neckline would be. I'm contemplating whether to use 2.5 or 3, so I'll just use 3 inches. I'll use a neck width of 3 inches, and in total my neck depth for the front would be 6 inches. So I'm going to mark 6 inches, and I'm also going to mark the midpoint, which is 3 inches. The midpoint, and then the depth of the neckline, which is 6. I will simply connect with my ruler. Connect your shoulder slope to the neckline. Give this region the midpoint, give it a curve, and then please ignore that faded slant. Mark the midpoint of 3 inches, and then mark 0.5, then connect together like this. Now we can cut. Mind you, this extension is 0.5 and this region is 1.5, which is the midpoint of the width of my neckline. Cut this part off as well. I wouldn't really advise that you go beyond 0.7 if you do not want your cleavage to show. I had to reduce the length of my pattern just so I could get a fabric for facing. And when making yours, I would advise that you ensure that your facing is longer than this by say like 1 inch. I am managing fabric, that's why my facing is small like this. I'll show you what I mean shortly. So I'll trim off my shoulder like this, and then I'll place this fabric which is meant for facing underneath. As you can see, and I will secure it with my pin, then I'll trace it out. I will trace the exact shape of my neckline out on my facing. Trim this part off as well. So I'm going to flip it for you to see where my facing stops. Can you see? I would advise that you make your facing about 1 inch longer. So I realized you didn't see it well the other time. That's why I dimmed my light. I hope you can see it now. If you take a look at my facing, you would see that I have ironed my paper stay on it. This is not air stay, this is paper stay. Yeah, so that's what I ironed on it. I'll go ahead and weave the edge of my facing, and then I will stitch the neckline like this. As you can see, I have overlocked the edge of my facing. I deliberately used a contrasting thread so you would be able to see. Imagine that I used white, you would not have been able to see it. So I deliberately used a contrasting thread. I'm just going to notch like this. Be careful with those pointy edge. Notch, and anywhere you see the fabric bulging, you just trim it a little. So I will flip to the right side. Can you see? So what we are left with is ironing. Give it a very good press with a steam iron, and if you do not have, you can sprinkle water on it and use whatever iron you have. Now is the time to design the neckline. So you can use this and you can use bead. This is being sold in the market. I think it's 1000 per yard for those that are in Nigeria. So you just, I don't want to cut it, that's why I push it under like this. Position it, and when you're satisfied, just stitch on both sides with needle and thread, please, and stitching. So this is what you would have. This is what I did for my black dress. Alternatively, you can also use beads. This is what I have, and I'm just going to show you how to use it. Pass your thread. It's in 4 lines, as you can see, and I'm going to hold the tip here. This is how I knot my thread. I'm going to hold it, put the base of the needle and twist like that. So if you would be using bead, pass your needle like this. Ensure it comes out from the midpoint of this pointy edge. Then carefully pick your beads with your needle. So when you're satisfied with the, occasionally as you pass the thread, keep checking. You place it on the neckline and check. So when you're satisfied, you pass the needle through this pointy edge. Ensure it's the middle of the pointy edge that your needle is being passed through. Flip your fabric to the wrong side and knot your thread for about 2 to 3 times. At this point, check on your bead to be sure that the thread that passes through is not loose. I hope you understand what I mean. Do not also forget that if you don't want your cleavage to show, the depth of your neckline should not exceed 6 inches. Likewise, also ensure that the extension we give the width of our neckline should not be more than 0.75 if you do not want your cleavage to show as well. With this, we've come to the end of this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Till I come your way in my next one. Bye.